Intro for the new Let's Plays pretty good. Oh, thank you. The voice changer? There wasn't a lot of voice changing, actually. I added a little bit of reverb, but other than that, it was the same. It was just my voice. Which is funny, because, like, I talk like this all the time on stream, but, it's just kind of a conversational voice. But I can do the big dramatic voice if I need to. So, it's kind of funny. Hello, LOLmaster. Yes. Yes. My dog apparently just dropped a bone on himself, which sounds like a euphemism, but it's not. He's got a deer antler, like the base of a deer antler, and it's thing is fucking heavy. How am I? I'm doing pretty good, man. We're about to do super happy fun time in the explosion, and I'm excited for it. The reason we're doing this is that yeah, there was the humble bundle this week. This weekly humble bundle was like 6 indie games that I'd never heard of, and it was pretty, pretty cheap. So I picked it up. I found like $5 in my wallet the other day that I put into the bank, and let's do that. And so we've got a bunch of new indie games to play. I think I'm up to an unreasonable amount of games on Steam because of the Humble Bundle. I think there's like, yeah, 45 right now. I don't think I've ever had 45 games for anything ever. But there's gonna be a whole bunch of games that we're gonna play. There's I think we're going to start off with a game called And Yet It Moves. Um, Mostly because it's the first one. You're a bit surprised that Petra went against Ulfric. As you mean as far as siding with the Empire? It's yeah. I it's interesting, and I can definitely talk a bit about that at the beginning of the stream before we really get started. Um, the whole the whole concept of this character of Petra um, is I wanted someone with some serious moral ambiguity. For like the stream character, gloating the stream character has a bit. He'll kill vampires because he doesn't think there's people anymore, or he's a little unsure about hunting bandits because he's just a fur trader or whatever. But Petra is a little bit more sort of almost more jaded, I guess, in that he's going to be fairly ruthless as far as his personality is concerned. I'm not saying he's going to be walking through a town and some little kid is going to come up to him and be like, "Hey, mister, can I have some candy?" and he's blow his face off with a fireball or something. That's not going to happen. That's not really him. But if there's something that he needs, information that he needs, or what have you, uh, he's gonna get it because he's sort of wasted his time. He something like spent like 4 years at the College of Winterhold, where he was supposed, or in Winterhold rather, where he was supposed to go and join the Mages College and study inside the Arcaneum and or the Arcanium, depending on how you want to say it. But instead, he just stayed at the inn because he found somebody that would get him books. That way, he didn't have to go through all the stupid, or what he perceived to be the stupid. Oh well, you have to learn this magical theory and is like the Tolfdir things and blah blah blah. So he just kind of threw that to the side and didn't really think about it because it he was there to study history and things, and magic was definitely part of it, but he didn't need it. It wasn't necessary. Magic was a thing. It's whatever. It was a convenience, really. Mage light spells to so he could read in a dark room. But then after Karath got assassinated, essentially, and I don't know. I will say now, I don't know the entire story. We're gonna let that play out. Um, so after Karath got assassinated, and he made some connections with Ulfric gaining more following as far as the Stormcloaks are concerned, as far as the rebellion is concerned, and Karath's just increasing fight to stop the whole essentially the degradation of the Dunmer in Windhelm, where they're relegated to that Grey Quarter and all those sorts of things. He became a political obstacle to Ulfric Stormcloak. So when he was assassinated, when he was killed, the logical explanation for Petra was, well, the Stormcloaks did it. And so he traveled to Solitude, and when he got there, he really discovered that waste of time that he had. How much time he wasted when he was in Winterhold, because he was supposed to be going to the Mages College, but instead he just stayed at the inn and read the books from the college and utilized the library. And when he got there and the Imperials said, well, can you use a sword? No. Can you use an axe? No. Can you use a bow? No. And then, they essentially said, well, you can't join the army if you're not going to be a soldier. And he said, well, I came all the way here from Winterhold. You can't just turn me away. And that's where it comes in, the thing that they told him, and the thing that's sort of stuck in his mind for right now is that a mage with no spells is of no use to the Empire. Essentially what he's being told is, you're useless. You can't do anything. You're not, an intimidating person. Nobody's afraid of you. You're a poor swordsman. You can't shoot a bow. You don't know any spells. You're just a guy. And so now all his dreams of revenge and things like that, they don't make any sense because he's just some guy. He might as well be a farmer. And so that's where we pick him up with his renewed vigor. And he's going to be traveling back to the College of Winterhold to gain some actual magical knowledge. And we'll take this story from there. So yeah, that's a little explanation as to why Petra went against Ulfric and why his character is a little bit more disgruntled than the stream character of Gloating.